Greetings, as Susan likes to say. This is my second video blog. What's up? So Tuesday, what did I do Tuesday? Tuesday was my day off, and what did I decide to do? I decided to have a Jessica and Kelly day. Jessica is a girl I work with. She's freaking awesome. She's really crafty. She took me to a couple museums that were for free, because it's free on Tuesdays apparently. We went to, what did we go to? We went to YBCA, so Yuba Buena. Name here again. I cheat a lot on these video blogs. So YBCA, we went to this awesome exhibit. It was called, it was by this guy named Song Dong. Basically what the deal was that he took all these artifacts that his mother had collected over like 40 years, and then laid it all out into this huge exhibit for people to see. One thing that was really cool about the exhibit is that you could see how therapeutic it had been for his mother and his family to work through kind of like their past and to see, because his father died in 2002, I think, and his mother became really OCD with keeping stuff. But just laying it out, and finally stuff they saved, hoping to use it in the future, was used for an art exhibit. So there you go. But the one that stood out to me the most was he had filmed his mom and dad talking to him about his birth, projected it onto two round pillars, and that kind of gave it a 3D effect. And then what he did was projected his own body where he's naked, and he like stands in front of, I mean, he sits down where his parents sat, and then his face would mesh with their face, his body would mesh. Bleh. Can't speak English. It was eerie and a little disturbing, but at the same time, it was kind of like fascinating. You couldn't really look away. And it's just weird to see. It's taking that whole idea coming from, like, going back to where you came from to a whole, like, another level, right? After all this, like, darkness and, like, emotions and trying to work through them, you go out and there's this last hallway where you see his daughter. And it's like 4 different videos going on, and he's saying how his daughter represents the seasons, and they're very bright colors, and each season I love this one because, hey, I love food. So there was like summer, which was unagi, like mountains made of unagi, and then puddles of water, which his daughter was drinking. He used like sashimi, like raw salmon, and he like just made mountains as well, and she was eating it with chopsticks. And then I think Christmas, for all you dessert lovers out there, was a big brown cake with some trees, and the trees were all broccoli, by the way. That was funny. And then she was sprinkling, like, I think, like, coconut flakes or powdered sugar or something. Anyways, that's all, like, cute and good and well, and it's weird to be, like, that was all the past, and this is the future. Like, it's bright. So it's just very interesting. I know I rambled about that one for quite a while, but I really, really enjoyed that exhibit. It really spoke to me. Again, the guy's name is Song Dong. You can check him out online. Modern Art Museum, nothing really stood out to me. We went to MOMA Cafe, which is on the top floor, and we got this really cool looking cake. Didn't taste amazing or anything, but it looked awesome. I also got a macchiato. Never had a macchiato before. I'm not a huge coffee drinker, but was excellent as well, Blue Bottle Coffee. And then we headed to the best part of my day, FOODIA olive oil tasting. In my first week, I went to a chocolate tasting for FOODIA.com. It was held at the Press Club, was at the Press Club again, but I was working. This time it was on the other side. I got to try stuff. This time there was a very, very small crowd. Apparently olive oil tasting hasn't really caught on. What a surprise. No, I'm kidding. Olive oil tasting is very interesting, actually. I was fortunate enough to talk to a bunch of people until I was like, hey, I'm a baby, can you help me out, please? Things you need to note for when you taste olive oil. People do apparently just drink it and then have apple in between to like clear the palate. 4 things you really need to pick up on when you taste it. Pungency, so that's like sharpness, bitterness, fruitiness, and grassiness. Grassiness is a really cool one. It's one of my favorites. The earlier you harvest, the more robust and bitter it'll be, and the later you harvest, the more light it will be. Fun fact. Then next week there's going to be a beer and cheese tasting event. I'm very excited for that because I like both of those, and if they're in the same thing, then I'll be there. That's all good and well. I'm going to do a food show and tell now. Bum, 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 bum. So, before we went to the olive oil tasting event, we went to Whole Foods for dinner. Very classy, I know. But hey, it's downtown. Everything's overpriced. It doesn't taste great. You get things called like derbies. And got this at the same time, Poca Dolce olive oil sea salt bar. The olive oil with the bittersweet chocolate, oh my god. It makes it so creamy and so smooth. And guess what? I'm going to make Caitlin try this when she comes, and she's going to tell you how great this stuff is because it's so subtle, but it has this great texture. And the sea salt just like gives it the best kick. Because the olive oil isn't like sweet and savory. It's like a sweet and olive-y. Like, it's not the same, it's not the addictive level or factor as like a, I don't know, bacon and chocolate. There was this guy who made, I tried gluten-free bread. Let's start with that. That tasted good. Doesn't taste like bread, but it's really good. This guy who works for Josie Baker Bread came with, like, I felt so bad. He came with like 30, 40 loaves expecting to sell some. Sweetie, there were like, I don't know, like 30 people there tops, as well as the fact, like, he had to leave early. So, hey, guess what? Free bread for all of us. Oh my god, it smells so good. Olive Parmesan Asiago dip. It was really good. It was cheesy, tasty, whole pot of goodness. Loved it. This is something special that I really, really enjoyed. It was this white truffle extra virgin olive oil. They only make it twice a year, apparently, by this brand called Biryani. But, oh my god, guys, the white truffle in olive oil. It was a good first exposure for me to taste olive oil, because now I'm going to go to restaurants, and, you know, when you get that big basket of bread that makes you full and you can't eat your main course later, at least I can now be like, hey, guess what? This is a robust, bitter olive oil. If there is any restaurant or food you want me to go hunt down and tell you how great it is, obviously this is more of an excuse for me to go find good food, let me know. I've got your back, dudes. I've got your back. I also wanted to briefly, before I finish this video, I wanted to briefly introduce my new friend, the artichoke lemon hummus dip. Oh my god, this stuff is amazing. And I'm eating it with, again, my farmer's salad mix thing. I think I ate all the spicy flowers. Sorry, guys. You can't watch me eat it again. But, hey. So good. Sorry, did I say... I meant to say artichoke and lemon pesto. I am totally onto this lemon stuff, huh?